Hello dear students, we have started with airborne infections, which is the last point of air microbiology. In last lecture we have discussed about the common cold, varicella zoster, which causes the chicken pox, mumps, which is the swelling of glands just below the ears. Next one is measles, which is similar to mumps, but in this there is small red spots on the body, and in some cases it causes the fever or rise in the temperature. And last one was whooping cough, in which person suffers from the continue cough condition is there, and it is treated by the common antibiotics. Next airborne infections are like diphtheria, tuberculosis, pneumonia, flu, etc. Now the first one is the condition where person suffers from, or where the person shows the symptoms like sore throat and other infection, and it is caused by the bacteria called as Streptococcus pyogenes, and the symptoms are sore throat, and sometimes there is a rise in the temperature. This organism, it first infects the upper respiratory tract of the body, and then it infects the pharynx means it is the throat, okay, and then it produces erythrogenic toxin, which causes the redness of skin, and it is known as scarlet fever. तो इरिथ्रोजेनिक टॉक्सिन, ये वर्ड यहाँ पर यूज किया गया है. इरिथ्रोजेनिक टॉक्सिन मीन्स इट इज द स्ट्रेप्टोकोकल टॉक्सिन विच डैमेजेस द प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन ऑफ ब्लड कैपिलरीज. ओके, तो ये मैंने आपको जो मैं अभी बता रही हूँ, इट इज द मोड ऑफ एक्शन ऑफ दिस ऑर्गेनिज्म नोन एज स्ट्रेप्टोकोकस पायोजेन. सिम्टम्स क्या है? सोर थ्रोट, ओके, खराश होती है थ्रोट में. और कैसे इन्फेक्शन कॉज करता है, ये मोड ऑफ एक्शन क्या है? दिस ऑर्गेनिज्म ये इन्फेक्ट करता है अपर रेस्पिरेटरी ट्रैक्ट में और थ्रोट में ये इन्फेक्ट करता है और अपना टॉक्सिन रिलीज करता है, दैट इज इरिथ्रोजेनिक टॉक्सिन, जिसको स्ट्रेप्टोकोकल टॉक्सिन भी बोला जाता है. इस टॉक्सिन का काम क्या है? इट डैमेजेस द प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन ऑफ ब्लड कैपिलरीज विच इज प्रेजेंट अंडर द स्किन. ओके, सो लाइक दैट it produces the, or it causes the redness of skin, and that condition is known as scarlet fever. ठीक है, स्कैरलेट फीवर का ही मतलब होता है कि रेड रैशेस ऑन टू द स्किन और ऑन टू द बॉडी. So that is known as the scarlet fever, and the temperature is very high in that condition, and it is caused by the organism known as Streptococcus pyogenes. Next disease is diphtheria, which is caused by the organism called Cornybacterium diphtheria. Okay, तो ये organism क्या करता है? It get localized or situated in the upper respiratory tract, and it produces the neurotoxin. जैसे स्ट्रेप्टोकोकस प्रोड्यूस करता है इरिथ्रोटॉक्सिन, वैसे ये ऑर्गेनिज्म प्रोड्यूस करता है न्यूरोटॉक्सिन. एज द नेम इंडिकेट, इट हैज द इफेक्ट ऑन द नर्व्स. ओके, सो दैट इज द न्यूरोटॉक्सिन. इट डिस्ट्रक्ट्स द नर्व टिश्यू. So this organism, it get localized in the upper respiratory tract, and they produce a powerful neurotoxin, and which causes the formation of pseudomembrane which blocks the air passage. Pseudomembrane means what? False membrane, जो मेम्ब्रेन होती नहीं है, लेकिन इस डिसीज के वजह से या फिर इस ऑर्गेनिज्म के वजह से एक फॉल्स मेम्ब्रेन क्रिएट होती है. ओके, सो दैट इज द फॉल्स मेम्ब्रेन इन द आई दैट समटाइम्स डेवलप्स ड्यूरिंग इन्फेक्शन, दैट इज नोन एज द pseudomembrane, and it blocks the entry of air. So Cornybacterium diphtheria, and in that it mainly occurs in the children, and it get localized itself in the tonsil, throat, as well as in the nasal cavity. Next is Mycobacterium tuberculosis, which causes the disease known as TB. So this bacterium, it get localized in the alveoli present in the lungs, and there only it multiplies, it increases its population within the region of the lungs, and the person is suffering from the disease known as the tuberculosis. Next is pneumonia, which is caused by the organism Streptococcus pneumoniae. तो Streptococcus pneumoniae में the symptoms are like rise in the temperature, headache is there, and person suffers from, or person ये weakness experience करता है, low anemic type condition experience करता है इस condition में. Next disease is meningococcal meningitis, which is caused by the organism Neisseria meningitis. तो Neisseria meningitis or Neisseria meningitis, okay, it causes the meningitis. It is the, यहाँ पर organism, it is actually carried in the nasopharynx, but occasionally it enters in the bloodstream. It get localized or situated in the meninges. What is the meninges? Meninges, it is the surrounding area or covering the brain and the spinal cord, उसे कहते हैं meninges. Okay, so that is the meaning of the meninges, which is the membrane covering of brain and spinal cord. Next is the Bordetella pertussis, which causes the disease known as whooping cough, जो हमने previous slide में भी discuss किया. This disease is characterized by a atypical cough which results in the sound, और वो sound कैसे produce होता है? Whoop like sound, okay, WHOOP, whoop like sound, that is termed as whooping cough. And this organism penetrate the mucosal or mucosa of the respiratory tract. Next is influenza, which is caused by the organism Haemophilus influenza. तो यहाँ पर भी this disease is related to respiratory tract infection. नेक्स्ट इज कोरोना वायरस. इसके बारे में तो बोलने की ज़रूरत ही नहीं है, बिकॉज एवरीवन इज़ अवेयर ऑफ दिस कोविड और कोरोना वायरस, एंड द सिम्टम्स ऑल्सो एवरीवन इज अवेयर विद द सिम्टम्स. देयर इज हेडेक, fever is there, breathing problem is there. So these are the common symptoms which are associated with coronavirus. It is started from common cold to SARS, that is severe acute respiratory distress. Okay, so in that person experience cough, fever, headache, and muscle aches are also there. So these are the common infections which are airborne infections caused by the pathogenic organisms present in the air. If you have any doubt related to air microbiology, you can ask me in the comment section. Thank you.